Hello, my name is Professor Erik Backus. I am the Executive Officer for the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at Clarkson University. The majors that I oversee are the undergraduate programs in Civil and Environmental Engineering. So we have a Bachelor of Science in Civil and we have a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering. So both the Civil and Environmental Engineering degree programs have a same common core engineering program for the first year of focusing on things like physics and chemistry, your basic mathematics of calculus, and then exploring the world through things like our Clarkson seminar and Engineering Society. After that, the students will start studying in the basic engineering sciences courses, things like statics and things like fluid dynamics. That will enable them to have the foundation for them to go on to the specific civil or environmental courses that they need to take to complete a degree in those disciplines. The junior and senior years are where you go into your specific curriculum courses. There are some smatterings in the sophomore year, but basically junior and senior year. And from that, the courses will lead you to completing a program that focuses you for those particular engineering disciplines. So yes, so the Civil and Environmental Engineering bachelor's programs are unique in several ways. One is each of them have extreme flexibility. So in each of the curriculums there's up to 8 professional electives that allow students to select from among a series of different courses that allow them to dive deep into areas of their interest. We also allow within these 2 programs a broad spectrum of courses that may not be offered by the department but are offered across the university. For instance, some students who are interested in running their own future design firm in civil or environmental engineering might be interested in taking some business classes. So they're able to take up to 3 classes in business that allow them to learn how to run a business as well as get the technical aspects of civil and environmental engineering. Secondly, the Capstone projects in civil and environmental engineering are really quite amazing. They start off with a specific need by a client from outside the university. Sometimes they're in the university, but most often outside the university. And what this is a real-world project that needs to be solved. The students are multidisciplinary, meaning we have civil and environmental students, but we often bring in students from disciplines like mechanical engineering and engineering management to also join those teams to actually solve these problems together. They're given the problem at the beginning of the spring semester, and then they complete that project through the semester working with the customer hand in hand. We've done projects where we've built new buildings, or designed and estimated and scheduled new buildings. And we've also done projects where we're moving our anaerobic digester on campus, understanding the chemistry behind that and biomechanisms, as well as how to actually site something like that. And so these multidisciplinary projects really enable students to leave here with oftentimes something on their resume like, I've gotten a permit already for a new building. That's something that they've done while they've been here at Clarkson. The third thing I'll make note of is that we have a very close alignment with the SPEED teams. SPEED at Clarkson University is Special Projects in Engineering Experience and Design, SPEED. And those projects can often be very interesting we have our Baja teams and things like that. But civil and environmental engineering has very close tie to our concrete canoe team. Yes, concrete can float. And we are Steel Bridge team, which competes nationally to build a pedestrian type bridge that would span a gap somewhere. We also have our construction engineering management team, which competes on scheduling and estimating projects nationally and regionally and nationally. We also have engineers for international sustainability, where they're solving problems like trying to provide clean water to a village in Uganda. These kind of things are where our faculty really get involved outside the classroom with our students to solve problems that may be unique projects, maybe an ongoing competition, but really get your hands in. Our students don't just design the bridge, for instance, in Steel Bridge. They actually weld it together. They actually build it together. They actually get their hands onto it. So we at Clarkson have a tie between the department and the SPEED teams that really enable students to not just talk about it, not just put pretty pictures together, but actually get their hands into what they're doing. So the kind of careers that students in the civil or environmental engineering degree programs can get into are in areas across the spectrum. We have students that leave civil and environmental engineering, go off and become medical professionals. For instance, environmental engineering is tied to making sure our air, water, and land are clean. So for instance, public health, like making sure that people are not harmed by chemicals, can often lead to a medical career. We've had that. We've had students go off and become lawyers. We've had students do more traditional things in civil environmental engineering where they go work at a design firm and they perhaps maybe do things like environmental sustainability for a salt plant, which has water runoff, you need to address that. Or they're designing the next new highway bridge for your local town or community. And then a lot of students will go off and go into construction careers where they oversee the construction projects that not just design those things or study those things, but actually get them built across your states, across the country. And then finally, there's a lot of students that will specialize in areas that are very technical. They may go into research and become professors someday. So those are different opportunities our students will do. These are very high-paying jobs. Right now, civil and environmental engineering are among the top careers you can go into. Civil engineers can have a starting salary for starting in the high 50s through to the low 70s. Environmental engineers typically around high 50s through about the mid 60s is what the typical starting salary is for those. Those careers start off in lots of different places around the country and often give you opportunities to go lots of different places in the world. So a couple different misconceptions. When you start thinking about green infrastructure, you should think about civil and environmental engineering. It's not just environmental engineering that has that, civil engineering has that as well. As you may not know, environmental engineering focuses on keeping your air, water, and land clean. So certainly it's a huge part of what environmental engineering is. When things like green buildings, well, that's civil engineers do those things. Things like making sure that our construction is done with less waste and using the right materials, well, that's civil engineering as well. So you should think about what it is it civil or environmental engineering that you're focusing on? The other thing to think about this is a lot of times if you want to start figuring out how to keep your air clean, it's not necessarily just biology that does that, it's environmental engineering that does these things. Understanding how microorganisms operate within an environment to create cleaner water or cleaner air are really important topics in environmental engineering. So having an opportunity to think about this, feel free to reach out to us. We're glad to talk about what these two different degree programs are, but there's a great opportunity, especially in the future, for these particular areas. So yes, one of the wonderful things about Clarkson University is we have partnerships with over 50 universities around the world. And almost without a question, every civil or environmental engineering student at Clarkson has the opportunity to go to a semester abroad. There are great universities like the Danish Technical University where we have a great partnership where we get students from Denmark who come here and vice versa, we send them there. And this is a great opportunity. So when you think about engineering curriculum, while it is tight and while there is certain requirements that are sometimes hard to get done by going semester abroad at other places, here at Clarkson we make it easy because these institutions are partner institutions with us that mirror our curriculum in a lot of different ways. To the point where we're actually sometimes going over there ourselves as faculty here to teach there and vice versa. So it's a great opportunity here at Clarkson to be able to go abroad, to get a great international experience, and at the same time, keep on track for your degree program in engineering. So Clarkson University is uniquely poised in terms of civil and environmental engineering. The reason for this is we have historically had strong ties to things like state DOT, we've had strong ties to industry, but beyond those things, we've also had leaders in our major programs as faculty. Our faculty participate in colloquia across different institutions. We are often on committees for things like the National Transportation Safety Board or the Transportation Research Board. We often have folks that are writing the American Standards for Testing Materials standards that are actually used in the industry. And so the kind of faculty you have here and the kind of experience you have give you, day one, the kind of opportunities that are well beyond what other institutions can do. Historically, Clarkson's graduates in civil and environmental engineering have gone on to lead companies and gone on to become key leaders. For instance, the current Region 7 DOT director for New York State is a Clarkson graduate, running the whole entire North Country's program for the Department of Transportation. These are the kind of opportunities that are unique to Clarkson that not every institution can say. So I think that's what makes us a very positive place to come to and why getting a university degree at Clarkson is an important thing to think about.